Hey everyone, thanks for watching this Getting Started video. In this video we're going to talk about how to customize the booking form your clients fill out to actually reserve their appointment with you. It's really important to have this optimized for your business so you get the right information up front, but aren't asking for too many fields that you don't really need. To show you what I'm talking about, on this test account we'll click through the scheduler, we'll choose to book one of our services here, and we'll book, choose a time slot. It's the next page that they get to that is your booking form. So you'll want to make sure that this is set up correctly to get the right information that you need. So from this page, we've got any option to change how this looks and feels. I can change the labels that are shown on the left-hand side of the fields. We can change the order of the fields themselves. We can add hints underneath them. We can make them required or not required. So to do this, you're going to go into your back office view, and we're going to be under Settings, Client Information, Define Field Labels. If you can get there just by hitting the Settings drop down and going to the Client Information page and clicking the Define Field Labels, or if you're already under the Settings menu, just going within that menu option and choosing that. You'll notice on this page you've got the fields that are exactly representative of the fields on your booking form. So first name, last name, email, home phone, cell phone, comments. Back on this page we've got first name, last name, email, home phone, cell phone, comments. To change the settings of any given field, you're going to click on it and you'll see the field settings menu toggle on the right hand side. So if we click on the first name, we can change this, instead of it being first name, to potentially being your first name. And you could add a hint to the bottom of it. Please put in the name you go by. When we save that, we'll see the updates reflect on the left hand side. The other options you have here are whether or not the field is required. That means the client has to put it on or fill it in before they can save the appointment, and whether or not you want to show it on your scheduler. That means if you want to, you can make it so that it's just a back office field, meaning you don't have the clients fill it in, it's something you fill in for the clients. So that could be something like the address or anything like that maybe you take from them once they've actually come to the appointment. You don't want it upon booking because that's just too much for them to have to fill in. You want the conversion, but you do want to capture it and manage it yourself through the back end. We'll get to that in just a minute. The other thing you'll notice on these field settings is where this field's actually assigned to. So the first name field is obviously a client related field. Every time or with each client, you want to be able to see their first name on their client profile. We have other fields though that are comment, or like the comments fields, that are applied to the appointment level. So whenever a client fills in comments, it's gonna be asked for each time they book an appointment. So maybe they have a different comment on one appointment that they're making versus another. Most fields are going to be applied to your client profile level, but there could be some things like when was your last appointment that you want to ask every time they book an appointment. You could look that up, I guess, but anything that might change on an ongoing basis, you would want to assign to the appointment level of the record. So if we look at the client profile, if we go to any of our clients on this account, or if we add a new client, we'll see that those are the fields we're prompted to fill in. So we'll add in Jane Doe. We'll save that. And if we look at Jane Doe, we'll see that she's just got those fields that are applied to the client level. Now if we go into our appointment screen and try to add an appointment itself, we're going to see we've got a comments field. Again, that's because the comments is on the appointment level. The other fields were on the client level. So if let's say we search for Jane, we're adding an appointment for her for next Tuesday, and we'll fill in Jane has something to say, or whatever her comments might be. It could be, is there anything you'd like us to know before your appointment? You can change that label. So we'll save that appointment, and you'll notice on the appointment page, we've got a link to Jane's profile that's going to contain all those client level fields. We also have some comments that are on here. So those comments are specifically related to this appointment. The next time Jane books a consult, she might have something different to put in that comment field. So let's go back to our client information and look at some of the other options there. You can also add something called, or you'll see on any of the pre-created fields that TimeTap gives you, you have an email tag. This can be pushed to your email templates or your confirmation page on your scheduler to actually push that information through. The other thing you have are these two other TimeTap fields and add new fields. So if you wanted to add in, TimeTap offers you a number of fields that you can add in. So any of the things listed here are just default fields we offer. You can put on the address, and you'll notice the address by default is not shown on scheduler. And that's because it's not something we want the client to fill in. So if we go back to the scheduling flow and click through quickly, we're going to notice, oops, that the address field is not asked for here. It's not shown. But if we go back and say we take another look at Jane's profile, we'll see the address field is something we've got an option to fill in. So underneath the client details for staff use only are going to be any of the fields we don't show in the scheduler, but we still want to capture. Maybe that's an individual note we want to take, or the height and weight of someone when they got in for their appointment if you're a doctor's office. That might be something that you just want to fill in for your own use. So that could be something you could not show in scheduler. It's just something you want to fill in at the time of the appointment. So that's the show on scheduler option. The other thing you've got here is a drag and drop capability. So maybe we want to move the cell phone field above the home phone field. So you can click on it and then just drag it anywhere on that screen. That's going to reorder it within the client-facing side. You can also remove fields from view. If you click on it, you'll see the hide field option. Most people don't even have a landline anymore, so I'm not going to ask for the home phone on this account. I can remove that. It'll go back to my TimeTap fields. I can always re-add it if I need to, but I don't need it on my form for now. The other thing you can do is you can add a brand spanking new field that's just specific to your business. So maybe I want to say, how did you hear about us? I can add a drop-down field. This is something I'm going to apply to the client profile because it doesn't change each time a person books an appointment with me. They heard about me once. They probably didn't hear about me multiple times. I only need to capture their first referral source. I'll make it required. I'll show it on the scheduler. It's something I want the clients to fill in. And I'll put in a few options for them. So I can do that. And it'll show up on my scheduler. If I clicked through the client-facing flow, I would see that appointment or that field for me to fill in as a client. I could select one of the options. The other thing you can do from this screen is actually preview the fields for your different services. So if I got here, I don't need to click through the scheduling flow each time. I can just toggle to the preview view and see exactly how my fields are going to look for my clients that are booking. So again, you'll notice the address field doesn't show up here, and again, that's because it's not toggled to show on scheduler. If I go back to the build form page and choose add new field, I want to show you just quickly how you can assign appointment or fields to the appointment detail page. So maybe this was, in this case, do you have any concerns for this appointment? You can have that, and maybe instead of it being asked for all your services and classes, you don't want it asked for the seminar, you only want it asked for the consult. So we'll show that on scheduler, we'll make it required. They can always say, no, I have no concerns, and we'll save it. Now if we preview the form again, we'll see for the consult, if we're previewing it, we have that do you have any concerns for this appointment field. But if I look at booking for the seminar, that's not a question that's asked. So you can customize the fields that are asked on a per service or per class basis by assigning the field to the appointment level when you're adding it, and then toggling on the select services and classes and choosing which services or classes it applies to. Once you've added the field, you can set the email tag for it, or you can use the pre-canned version. Again, that's just going to be something, so long as you copy the percentage sign to percentage sign mark, that you can add into the email templates. So underneath emails and messaging, if you edited any of our email templates, you would see all those different email tags come through based on what the tag is for the field. Hope that makes some sense. If you've got questions about how to customize that booking form for your business, highly recommend you go ahead and book an onboarding call with one of our TimeTap support team members. We'll walk you through the process one by one and make sure that it's set up for you and your business.